So today is a very special day at the garden. We're going to be installing a couple of packages of bees to have here at Verdigris. So here they are, safe and sound in their boxes that we got from the bee supplier, and a few feral ones that came from a swarm that are kind of hanging around as well. So to get started, I want to show you first the frame and the building that we sort of built, a little protection for the bees. Keeps the worst of the weather off of them, as well as provides a place for us to collect water, rainwater. So let's get started. So before installing the bees, we take out a few of the frames in order to have a place to actually dump the bees. So once they're in there, we'll replace them. But to begin with, we take a few of those frames out. So I'm going to back up a little bit and get started. But first, I want to make sure that everybody realizes that we are in protective clothing. Will has a actual beekeeper's jacket on. His jeans are keeping him protected. And I am wearing the traditional beekeeper's hat, but I wear a Tyvek suit completely covering me. It's just preferable, and it's a lot cheaper than the beekeeping jackets. So I'm going to step away and let Will open the bee box. Because you're putting it right back on when you take the can out.
Well, not really, but...
And the next part is we'll lift out the queen chamber and put the cap back on. And he'll install the queen first. So she is in a little cage that obviously is covered by a lot of bees right now, and a plug of sugar candy. And then she's installed in the middle of a couple of frames.
You're going to have to pause. They can see that the queen is marked with a little red dot for
the
this
queen
year.
is marked with a red dot for this year, and Will's going to take out a wooden plug at one end of the thing to reveal the sugar candy. So that they can start eating it away to release her in the next few days. Okay. So the queen's chamber comes with a piece of metal that will bend and hang over two frames. And he places that into the center of the hive. Why wouldn't you turn it the other way? So now he's opening the main box back up, and first he'll give them a tap to kind of knock them away from the surface. And then he'll pick it right up and dump it right in. Now this seems like it might be scary, but the bees are really docile. They're more disoriented than anything else. So you try to get as many installed in the hive as you possibly can. And then the balance of them, once they understand that the queen is there, will start to make their way to her. So now he'll begin putting in more frames. So he's adding these frames, which are beeswax, by the way. Some use plastic, some use beeswax, but we've used both, and we think that beeswax is probably a little bit better, simply because it's more natural and they seem to respond to it a little bit better. They take to it a little faster to start building out their comb. So now he'll start brushing the bees into their hive so that he can put on what's called the inner cover. It's notched and has a hole in the center of it so that the bees can use that as an alternative exit to the front entrance. So you put the top on and then slide it so that you don't crush bees and they can get out of the way. They have the ability to get out of the way. I mean, the goal is to install the bees and not harm as many as possible. He's sweeping away more bees so that he can put on the outer cover. And you follow the same process, is to scoop the bees along and not crush them as you put this cover on. The next step is to put a feeder on the front so that they have food in which to sustain themselves for the next few weeks, because they're going to be busy building out comb and starting to have babies and produce more bees. So the supplemental feed helps them get through that period of time. And if you've read anything that I've written about beekeeping before, you know that we add essential oils to our bee syrup in order to stave off diseases and infestations. So this is a entrance feeder, so it just kind of slides into the entrance of the hive and provides a little trough for them to sip the nectar, the sugar syrup, and it makes it easier for us to refill it.
This is in the way.
Understood. So we'll follow the same process for the next hive in a few minutes after these calm down.
And it's just cork. See the candy? Probably get a better end shot of what I'm doing.
Bees.
Oh.
You have the brush. And then we will put an entrance reducer on the front of the hives to restrict the bees' movement. We want them to be in the hive and work in the hive and not be out so much. So that's how you install a package of bees. Thanks for watching.